Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Donnie.
And today we're going to be building the pumpkin trellis. Today is finally the day that we're going to be building the pumpkin trellis. We also got new wireless mics, and hopefully you can't hear the cars going by, kids screaming. We had a murder of crows move in, so they're screaming in the background too. And I've got the noise reduction all the way up. So I'm really excited to be offering better audio quality. So what we're doing today is we're going to be building the pumpkin trellis this direction. So being an A-frame right here instead of the other direction that it used to be. And the whole point of that is moving the bed this way, we get more sunshine. So we're going to plant the plants here. It's going to go up, over, and then down beside the shed because we do get sunlight down beside the shed. And I'm hoping that we'll get better production out of our pumpkins and squash that we will be growing up the trellis. And Donnie's up next to show you guys exactly how to build this.
Last week we took apart the old trellis, and here's the lumber left over. I got the 4 2x4s. They're pretty long, about 7 feet tall, maybe a little longer. And I'm going to cut them and shape them into an A-frame. And then I'm going to cut the bottoms off to the height that we want and set them into place. After that, I'm going to be cutting the tops and putting a 2x4 across the top as the gusset. So that'll hold the wire from falling down in the center. Let's get started. Okay, now I'm all set up down here on the sawhorses. It was getting a little cramped up there in the corner. But I got the 2x4 here. I need to transfer this angle to this one. Set it right there. This works out good. I'll get rid of that split right there. All I do is mark it. Do the same thing on this other one. And it don't gotta be perfect. Get out the old saw here. Can't really see my line very well. Let me remark that as I drop my pencil. There we go. Put a little pressure behind it. Our next step is I'm going to drill a few holes just to get the screws started a little easier. It'll also help prevent the wood from splitting. There. I'm also saving money by reusing the old hardware. Nothing wrong with it. So there's our first A-frame. I'll go get the other ones. I've got both sides of the trellis to the height that they need to be right now. Just a little bit of leveling. I got to dig the dirt out here to bring the other one down a bit. I'm going to cut both of them across here to lay a 2x4 across. So let's get to cutting. We seem to be having a rough go at this, so...
That's an understatement.
We finally got our angles figured out and how we want it, how tall, all that. Now let's screw the top together. There's one side. Now this side. That one looks good. Board's a little long. I'm gonna have to trim that down a touch.
So we'll be right back after we cut the board, and we're gonna dig the trellis down a little bit, and we'll show you what it looks like before we put on the wire. We attached the board across the top, and now we are starting to put on the mesh wire. But as you can see, it's a lot larger than the new trellis. So we're going to trim that down to the size of the new trellis. And the way that we're attaching it is with staples. Let me show you. With these that we're just hammering in. There you go. Now you can see the box that we're using. So as soon as we are done trimming this all up and getting it attached, we will be right back. Donnie is putting the finishing touches on the trellis. It's not square by any means. We're on a hill. It's kind of all over the place, but I think it's going to work out really well. Will you show him how to put on the staples?
All right. I turned my microphone off so it wouldn't be too loud. Using my handy welding pliers. There you go. Just hammer them on in.
It is that simple. Just use a pair of pliers to hold the staples and hammer them on, and it looks really good. And I might even plant some peas later on. We finally got this project done. It took us a lot longer than we were expecting because we're on a hill and this is a high point over here and it slopes this way and it slopes that way. So it took us a little while to get it level. So if you could get yours like on level ground and not on a hill, I would definitely recommend it because this was one of the harder things that we've done in the garden. It's a lot smaller than it used to be, and I like that because the other one was so tall I couldn't reach the top. But with this one, I can easily reach the top. So I'll be able to kind of guide the pumpkins up and over and down. But before the pumpkins get too terribly large, I'm going to plant a row of peas here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And here are the peas that we got from Baker Creek, and they're really pretty purple ones. I wanted to do something purple this year and do something a little bit different than the standard ones. All right, so on the back of the package, it says 1 inch planting depth. And the way I plant these is I just make like a trough. I just kind of dig it out. All the way down. And then I take a few in my hand and I just start sprinkling them in. Just a little bit by a little bit. And they're not about, maybe about an inch apart, 2 inches. And you could do even closer too. You can always thin these out and have them as sprouts too. So I think I might actually do that and put just a few more in here, and then that way we can have like pea sprouts, because you can eat the leaves. They're totally edible and they taste really good. It's not as strong of a flavor as some of the peas are, but it's really good in salad mixes. All right. And once you have them where you want them and how many that you want in your trench, Lola Kitty! She had to come over and see what we were doing. So you go ahead and just cover them back over with the soil that was mounded up when you're digging the trench. just want to firm them down so that they make good contact with the soil. And then you can water them in. We've had a lot of rain these last few days, so this soil is already moist, but I will give them a little bit of a water in tomorrow when the water turns on, and this will be perfect. They'll grow up the trellis, and by the time they're done, then the pumpkins will be starting to come over, and that way I get peas and I get pumpkins at the same time. Well, that project, I think, went really well, other than trying to get it level. Right, Donnie?
Oh, that was horrible.
It was a lot of cutting and then recutting and then cutting again off camera just to get this level. But I am really pleased with the outcome of this trellis, because this is going to do exactly what I wanted it to do. And since it's not actually attached to anything, if we ever want to move it in the future, we can. Because I've thought about maybe moving it to one of the other flower beds, but for now I think this is the perfect spot for it, and I'm going to definitely give it a try this summer. So I would normally be planting the pumpkins for all of you right now, but our weather is still so cold at night that I can't bring them out yet. I've been moving them in and out, and we've been getting snow. I'll put a picture on the screen of how much snow we've been getting. So I'm going to be waiting probably about another week before we actually do our planting, but I will be planting the brassicas and some of the other ones that can handle the cold, like I just planted the peas for you guys. So thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I appreciate each and every one of you. There are over 100 videos on our channel now, so go check them out. Happy gardening!